What is going on, everybody? Welcome into a very special MLB The Show storylines episode. We got a new storyline today for the late, great Willie Mays. Of course, Willie Mays just passed away just a couple of days ago. Just a couple of days before the Rickwood Classic, which is being played today between the Cardinals and Giants. I am super excited to hop into this storyline, learn about Willie Mays' time playing in Birmingham, my home team, my hometown, where we are right now. I'm biased because Willie Mays, in my opinion, is the greatest baseball player of all time. And also, I think a good chunk of this is going to take place at Rickwood Field in Birmingham, which I went there watching Barons games growing up and watching the Rickwood Classic and all that good stuff. So I'm super excited. Let's hop into it. See what the great Bob Kendrick has to say about the legendary Willie Mays.
Like a sound you hear that lingers in your ear, but you can't forget from sundown to sunset.
Rickwood Field is the oldest active professional baseball park in the country. It was built in 1910. Coincidentally, it was inspired by Forbes Field in Pittsburgh, where a lot of Negro Leagues history was also made. Who knew that it would become such hollow ground? Because it has bared history to not only many great major league moments and many great major league ball players, but it was also home for the Negro League's Birmingham Black Barons, another team born out of the ashes of American segregation that brought great joy to the African American community there in Birmingham for many, many years. It is a majestic old stadium, and I'll never forget walking on those grounds for the very first time. Satchel Paige, Josh Gibson, Buck O'Neal, they all played on that field. And man, if those walls could talk, how special it would be. Willie Mays, who as a 17-year-old walked on that very same field, patrolling center field for the Birmingham Black Barons. No one would have guessed that this budding, inspiring ball player would become recognized, arguably, as Major League Baseball's greatest player.
Man, really, really sad on that name placard to see 1931 to present for Willie Mays, knowing that he just passed away. Let's hop in here and get a hit at the legendary Rickwood Field with Willie Mays. There we go. Took us a couple of tries, but we got our base hit here at Rickwood Field, and we're moving on.
Where I grew up in the country, you know how you learn to swim? They threw you in the pond, and you either sank or you swam. And that was much the case for these young athletes as they were moving into the Negro Leagues. You got thrown right into the pond with those older ball players, and you can either play or you can't play. Now, Willie Mays was a tremendous athlete. He's quarterback in high school. Ultimately, he had to cut deal with the high school so that he wouldn't lose his eligibility for football. This is a 17-year-old kid playing with grown men, and he more than held his own.
Keep your eyes on me.
They kind of eased him into it early on, but you can't hold that kind of talent down. No, this talent was just exploding at the seams. As a matter of fact, his first game with the Birmingham Black Barons, young Willie Mays collected 2 hits. On the way to what was about to become one of the most dynamic careers in baseball history.
There's old Willie Mays in the Birmingham Black Barons jersey. We're going to try and tally 2 hits here. That's gone? Okay, that's hit number 1. Apo Taco. That is also gone. And young Willie Mays I'll take 2 home runs. All right, hopping right back into gameplay here. Looks like we're playing maybe at Polo Grounds. And we're going to try and get an extra base hit. No, this is not Polo Grounds. I think this is Old Comiskey. There we go. Get up, ball. Go. Go. Attaboy.
Well, what made Willie Mays so special was that he was a 5-tool kind of baseball player. And he did everything with grace and flair. As my friend Buck O'Neill would say, he was better than that.
But the crowd still loved Willie.
Willie Mays was never booed, even in the opponent's ballpark. That's the reverence that people had for Willie Mays, because he was so affable and he was so likable. Here's Willie Mays walking through the streets of Harlem, playing stickball with the kids. I mean, how special would that be to see that happen today? So you combine all of that with off-the-chart talent. You can see why Willie Mays is so beloved. People measure times in their lives by Willie Mays. They name their kids after Willie Mays. That's how special he was.
All right, the Say Hey Kid. We're going to try and get 2 RBIs right here. Hopping in. I love the old school crowds, man. I love it. All right, we got runners on second and third. We need 2 RBIs, so let's find the gap. There we go. That's going to do it. 2 RBIs from the Say Hey Kid. What do you say? What do you say?
A year the Stars reached new milestones and rewrote the record book.
Well, Willie Mays is easily one of the most iconic figures in baseball history. But before he was the Say Hey Kid, his nickname was Buck, Young Buck. 1948 Negro League World Series, the Birmingham Black Barons are facing those vaunted Homestead Grays that were still a juggernaut. And can you imagine at 17, you're in the midst of a Negro League World Series as a 17-year-old, and you're right in the middle of the action.
Far back, the ball it in.
And there's young Willie Mays helping the Barons win the lone game that they won in that series with a walk-off.
This is it, what? New genie pouring from the sky, let's get rich, what?
I am sure it ranks as one of those special moments out of a career that is filled with many special moments. But at 17, you walk it off in a Negro League World Series game. That's pretty doggone special.
Pretty doggone special. All right, young Buck. Let's get a little walk-off win right here. Yeah. Yeah. Willie Mays with the walk-off. Let's go, baby.
My dear friend, the late, great Buck O'Neill, would say without hesitation that Willie Mays was the greatest major leaguer that he ever saw. Oh, John Donaldson, one of the greatest left-handed pitchers this sport has ever seen, knew the game of baseball inside out. So it was no coincidence that after his baseball career, he would become a scout, a great scout, because he had a tremendous eye for talent. And I guess you could say the big fish that got away was Willie Mays. And he knew young Willie Mays had superstardom written all over. Not stardom, but superstardom. And I think the legendary John Donaldson knew that he would never find another Willie Mays.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back.
And the fans go wild.
Hey, look at old Willie Mays right there with Buck O'Neill. And I don't know, who is that? Is that Josh Gibson as well? Oh, tally 1 extra base hit with an RBI. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, that'll be an extra base hit. And 2 RBIs. Moving on.
Long before the catch was made there in the Polo Grounds, young Willie Mays had been patrolling center field for the Birmingham Black Barons. 1949 is when he plays his first game there. But this wasn't uncommon for Negro League teams. Negro League teams were oftentimes playing in Major League stadiums. They would rent those stadiums, and that is part of the reason why it took so long to integrate the game, because Major League teams were making money from the Negro Leagues. So Willie Mays had been patrolling that spacious Polo Ground center field, where I can tell you now, you needed the legs of Willie Mays to patrol center field in the Polo Grounds. When that ball went up, they were all yelling, "Go get it, Willie." And Willie went and got it. But the thing that is oftentimes overlooked, and it speaks to the cerebral nature of Willie Mays, was the throw that prevented the runners from advancing. Gives you an idea of how in tuned Willie Mays was into that moment. The Giants, of course, would go on and capture that World Series, beating another former Negro League, Larry Doby and the Cleveland Indians.
So cool, man. So cool. I love these stories. And now we get to recreate one of the most famous plays in baseball history, the catch. All right, here we go. Standing in center field here at the Polo Grounds. Here's the pitch. Yeah. We're taking off. Oh, my goodness. Oh, the sun's in our eyes. Holy cow. Oh, yeah. Oh. Nice. Okay. So really all you have to do is move the glove into the target, then hit B, and then do the little quick time sequence, and you've got yourself the greatest play in baseball history. Taking another look at Willie Mays doing the over-shoulder catch. One thing you may not know, if you're using his card in Diamond Dynasty and you do a running catch like that, he'll do the basket catch. Here we go, hopping right back into some gameplay. We got Willie out here playing some outfield pickle in warm-ups. We're going to try to tally 2 hits, including an extra base hit for the New York Giants. That one's hit pretty well. Yeah, it's going to fall. We're going to take 3 here. That'll count as our extra base hit. We just need 1 more base hit to move on. There we go. Beautiful swing by Willie Mays. And we've got our 2 hits. We're moving on.
The San Francisco Giants had the major's first all-black outfield. All 3 players were former Negro League stars. Hank Thompson, who was actually an infielder by trade, Willie Mays, and of course the great Monty Irvin. That was a tremendous outfield. But it also makes me reflect back to the fact that $25 kept us from having an outfield that could have been Willie Mays, Henry Aaron, and Monty Irvin. The Braves offered Henry Aaron $25 more a month. They outbidded the Giants, and Henry Aaron took the Braves' offer, $25. But maybe it worked out the way that it was supposed to work out, because those 2 legendary former Negro League stars blazed their own paths to stardom. But I can tell you now, if you'd have had a lineup that had Henry Aaron, Willie Mays, and Monty Irvin in it would have been a nightmare for everybody they played. It just leads you to wonder, what if?
Oh, man, what if? $25 difference between the Braves and the Giants kept Hank Aaron from being teammates with Willie Mays. Can you imagine that? Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, and Monty Irvin in the outfield, and then the great Hank Thompson still at second base or shortstop or wherever. I love me some Hank Thompson. All right, what are we trying to do here? 3 total bases. Let's get it. There we go. That one's driven to the gap. We are in the Polo Grounds, but fielded well by the center fielder. We're going to sneak in a second base right there. So we just need 1 more base to get. There it is. There's our 3 total bases in the Polo Grounds, and we're done with that.
I can tell you my problems, meditating my silence. But I keep pushing my pen, rotating my stylus.
Segregation robbed us from seeing all the great stars take the field together.
I can't hold a frown too long. I can't stay down too long.
As baseball fans, we were absolutely cheated. How much better would our game have been? But what segregation also did was it created this enterprise known as the Negro Leagues. So while Rickwood Field once upon a time had been segregated, who knew that it would be Birmingham's blackberries that would actually become the toast of Birmingham? As we celebrate Rickwood Field and all the history that made Rickwood Field such a special place, but no one made it more special than the Negro Leagues. And there's been no more special of a ball player than Willie Mays. First ballot Hall of Famer. Should have been unanimous. But the bridge for him to the major leagues began in the Negro Leagues, right here in this very ballpark, Rickwood Field.
11 gold gloves for his electrifying play in center field. His 660 home runs are third all time. Say hey, Willie Mays!
I know couple things I show, couple things I don't.
Wow. I have goosebumps and I'm welling up a little bit. Rest in peace, Willie Mays, man. What a great story. And looking forward to the game in Rickwood Field tonight. Many childhood memories at Rickwood. Watching my brothers play high school baseball there. All-star games. And watching the Barons play. When they would have special games over there. And that was really, really cool. So thanks to Bob Kendrick and MLB The Show for this wonderful storyline of the late, great Willie Mays. I appreciate y'all checking it out. We will see you next time. Thank you so much.